This is Nursing, and I have done my graduation from Government Degree College Raman. Right now, I am in the third semester, Master in Geography. The today topics is about this rural-urban fringe. That is actually the topic of the settlement geography. Okay, and I will tell you about the concept of this rural-urban fringe and moreover its characteristics. You should even know what really the rural-urban fringe is. Questions are mainly asked in the exams from these topics too when you are in the third semester of MSc or MA Geography. Okay, first of all, I will just make you understand that what really rural-urban fringe is. Actually, you should even know what fringe really means. Fringe is actually it is actually the border zone. It is the zone of the transactions that lies outward from the city. Assume this circle as an urban center. As an urban center. Assume this it is as urban centers. And moreover, the periphery regions. The periphery regions, this would be the border. The periphery regions will be called as rural urban fringe. Rural urban fringe. Okay. Neither it is an urban area and nor do it is a rural area. But you can even say that it has some mixed characteristics of the rural or the urban areas. It has the intermingling characteristics of the rural or the urban areas. Okay, this is also known as the zone of the transactions between the rural or the urban area. Zone of transactions. And some geographers prefer to call it as a twilight zone. Some geographers says it as a twilight zones, most important. And some says that it is the periphery area. Okay, but you can even say that it is the border area that surrounds the cities. It's the border area that surrounds the cities. And actually, you know what? The development of this area depend upon the form of the government, depend upon the decisions of the rural area governments. Decisions of rural area governments. Its development will mostly depend upon this one, upon the decisions of rural governments. Throughout the United States of America in 1940s, you can even say the periphery regions had more growth. They had more, they were more developed than the urban centers in the 1940s. In the 1940s in USA, this periphery area, this urban fringe, this rural urban fringe were mostly developed than the urban centers in the 1940s. And because of the technological advancement in the 20th century, because of the technological advancement in terms of roads, in terms of railways, when it's made the links with the periphery regions, with the these rural areas, so it becomes possible for the peoples of the urban areas to move and inhabits that zones of the transitions where one find the cheap houses, and one thing more, there maybe the environmental stress, but people finds the reliefs because as compared to these urban centers, there is less environmental stress and the pollutions. Okay, when the CBD become the dead zone, even the night, even the working hour of the peoples migrate to these regions. You should even understand this one. And one thing more, in the developed countries, this region become the recent phenomenon like the India, when the R.L. Singh, a geographer, firstly studied these topics. But in the developed countries, that is already developed like the American, the European countries, this is a very old phenomena of the rural urban fringe. For the first time in the 1937, when T.L. Smith studied the demographic characteristics of the Louisiana, he just had given these concepts of the rural urban fringe. Now, without wasting my times, I want to recapitulate. I want to go over the points that would be its characteristics. Okay, if you are a student of the MSc, you would know about its characteristics. That what really the rural urban fringe is. Some people compare it with the rural urban continuum, but there is a lot of difference between the rural urban fringe and the continuum. First characteristics would be mixed land use. As I already told you, neither it is the zone of the urban area, nor do it is the part of the rural area, but mostly the governments of the rural area control this. Okay, so it has some mixed land use. I mean to say, there may be the agriculture, some land are devoted to the agriculture and some land are devoted to the industrial purposes. There may be the schools, colleges, or the universities and hospitals, industrial regions, godowns, warehouse. Okay, and the next one, lack of facilities. Lack of facilities in terms of what? In terms of urban area, and as compared to the urban area, it has a lack of facility in terms of road transportation or something. Well, it has also the transportation links with the urban area. With the urban area, it has also transportation links, so it becomes, developed like that of the urban centers, but it is not even more developed than the urban centers. Okay, in the developing country, it is not even more developed than the urban centers. Then it has some transportation linkages. The fourth characteristics would be social transformations. Social transformations in terms of what? The peoples of the rural areas who are inhabiting that regions celebrate the festivals. Okay, while the peoples, those who came from these urban centers, maybe they just don't even celebrate the festivals. Maybe they just don't even celebrate the festival. So there has a social transformation. The peoples who are celebrating, the peoples who are celebrating their festivals, maybe even in the future they would not even celebrate the festivals. And the fifth characteristics would be urban sprawl. Well, this region is mostly prone to the urban sprawl because of the urbanizations in the central zones. When the urbanization starts to move outward, these regions become prone to the urban sprawl. Okay, and the sixth characteristics I would talk, that would be environmental stress. As I already told you, when the pupils in the urban center put stress on the environments and they start to move in these regions, then there decrease the environmental stress, pollutions, air pollutions, and something else. The next step I would talk is about the population characteristics. There would be some peoples who are originally from that regions, and there would be some peoples who are migrated from the urban centers for cheap housing, and there would be some peoples who are not even migrating from the urban centers. They are just living in that area, but they work in the urban centers, and after their working hours, when the CBD becomes the dead zone, they just comes to live here. Okay, their family just resides here. So this was the characteristics of these rural urban fringe. Now maybe this topic become clear to your mind. So it's very clear, it's very important to understand that what really the rural urban fringe is. It's nothing but a contagious area. It is nothing but a contagious area surrounding the city, and it has interminglings. It has a mixed characteristics of the both rural and the urban area. So this was about these topics. Maybe it has maybe you just got these topics, maybe you understand these topics very clearly. Well, thank you very much.